Breaking news just into CNN. Attorney General Jeff Sessions is not, for now, appointing a second special counsel to investigate complaints by Republicans that the Justice Department may have exhibited bias in its 2016 investigations into presidential candidates Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Sessions did name, however, an investigator who he says has been looking into those allegations. CNN's Laura Jarrett joins me now for more. Laura, explain the decision here and what's Sessions' plan going forward.
Well, Jim, this is likely the day that John Huber becomes a household name. He's a veteran federal prosecutor, the U.S. attorney in Utah. He served under both President Trump and President Obama, but he's likely now going to be thrust into the midst of a nasty partisan fight with Democrats saying all of this allegations of FBI and DOJ misconduct, is just a distraction from special counsel Robert Mueller's probe. But Republicans have said anything short of a special counsel just won't do, and that the Justice Department cannot investigate itself. Now, Sessions, in explaining the reasoning behind the appointment of Huber, explained that he is a career federal prosecutor and he will have the power to bring charges, as Republicans have said that they want. Now, he also says that it's possible that a special counsel could be appointed down the line. In a letter to members on Capitol Hill, he says that he's going to receive regular updates from Huber, and upon the conclusion of the review, will receive his recommendations as to whether any matters not currently under investigation should be opened and whether they merit the appointment of a special counsel, Jim. And he's got a lot on his plate. Remember, Republicans have called for a special counsel on everything from FISA abuse, for the monitoring of Carter Page, to the Clinton email investigation. But the big question now, Jim, is whether this will satisfy Republicans on Capitol Hill as well as the president.
Laura Jarrett, thanks very much. My panel back with me now. You know, there have been a number of these allegations that Laura just focused on there. You know, the Uranium One case, Hillary Clinton's involvement there, whether the FBI unduly surveilled Carter Page during the election, et cetera. A whole host here. No special counsel. Amanda, I have to imagine many Republicans aren't going to be satisfied.
Well, this takes a huge argument away from Trump that he has been leveling in order to distract from the Russia investigation. If I'm following Laura's reporting, is that the special counsel will not be looking into alleged FISA abuse, which many of Trump's allies say was misused to illegally conduct surveillance on the campaign. That goes away now. And all the times that Donald Trump has gone on the campaign trail and said, you know, lock her up, Hillary Clinton, saying that she was not treated fairly because of these questionable donations to the Clinton Foundation that were allegedly done in exchange for mining rights for uranium on behalf of Russia, that whole idea of Russian collusion for the Clinton campaign goes away too. And so, you know, I hear a lot of this because I listen to a lot of conservative media, conservative talk radio. Sure. This is everything to them, you know, illegal surveillance of the campaign, and Hillary Clinton was treated with kid gloves by the FBI. Those two things go away now. There is going to be tremendous pressure by conservative media on Jeff Sessions now, and I, quite frankly, don't know how he's going to handle it.
Well, it's interesting, you know, before we get to the politics, it's significant, Susan Page, is it not, that a Justice Department run by the president's own appointee, he assigned a very credible lawyer here who looked into this and concluded that there isn't the substance there for a special counsel to investigate these various claims.
Yeah, Jeff Sessions, hero to Democrats at the moment. Who would have thought that? You know, Jeff Sessions was grilled about this during a recent appearance on Capitol Hill about what was the standard for appointing a special counsel. And he basically refused to be pushed into saying a special counsel was necessary in this case because he said that bar hadn't been met. It does not mean that these allegations are not being investigated. It means they're not being investigated by a special counsel. Now, that's significant in some ways because special counsels tend to have a lot of running room. They take a lot of time. If you're worried about the Justice Department not being able to fairly investigate itself, they are more independent. But it doesn't mean that these issues goes away. It means that Jeff Sessions is saying they do not, as of now, rise to the level that is required for the appointment of a special counsel.
Just a quick point on that. A lot of Republicans thought Jeff Sessions was going to be the way that they were going to get this. Conservative media people, voices like Sean Hannity, were pressuring Jeff Sessions constantly to say, why won't you look into this? Donald Trump, get a hold of your administration, essentially look into this, because they wanted the political punch out of it. Right.
Well, what about, Kirsten, the bizarre possibility that on the legal merits, there's not a case for a special counsel here, right? Because everything is so, this entire investigation has been so politicized, everybody sees it through that lens, right?
Yeah, well, I think that, look, I don't think this is what Donald Trump was expecting Jeff Sessions to do generally, not just in this case, but I think he's turned out to be a very different kind of attorney general than what he was banking on, and maybe what a lot of people were banking on. I think people were expecting him to maybe be a little more partisan. So on the Uranium One issue, I mean, this is something that has just been pushed almost single-handedly by Sean Hannity at Fox News, and this is, something that's been looked at, and I think is pretty obvious that there's nothing there, that this was a multi-agency process. It wasn't just something that the State Department did, let alone Hillary Clinton. And so I think that it's not surprising that they would reject that as, something needing a special counsel to look into.
Just a note, there's a big profile in Time magazine of Jeff Sessions.
We have a picture, in fact, of his face.
It's a
on the
beautiful,
cover.
it's an interesting picture, but if you read it, I think what comes through is his respect for the law. Jeff Sessions gets demonized a lot by the left for his stances on immigration, drug enforcement. But I think even if you disagree with him on those issues, you can see with how he's conducted himself as Attorney General when it comes to these hard questions that he is a man of integrity who does care about the rule of law.
And isn't that what you want from your Attorney General, respect for the law?
Not
is
if you're Donald
that
Trump.
a crazy statement?
I don't think that's what Donald Trump wants. I think Donald Trump wants somebody that's going to do what he wants him to do.
Right,
and of course, we've seen turmoil in his cabinet. And so here's a question. Does Jeff Sessions have a long tenure ahead of him as Attorney General? And did he think about that when he was making this big decision?
Keep your eyes open for the presidential tweet in reaction to this decision.